Yo, today we're talking about the wonderful world of Disney, and more specifically, Disneyland, right, Josh?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so in today's episode, we're going to talk about everything, some theories about Disneyland, what goes on under the scenes.
I don't know, dude. I heard there's like cats and shit. This guy was talking about there's like cats and
There's some secret societies in Disney. Yeah, right, yeah. All the characters, the magical characters, the nostalgic feeling of Disneyland.
hey, everyone, most people loves Disney, but I think there's a big difference between Disney movies and Disneyland.
Yeah, definitely. That
And-
feeling of Disneyland as a kid.
It's super nostalgic.
Yeah.
Like I think it's beyond nostalgic.
What's beyond nostalgia?
Magic.
Magic. That Disney magic. Find
Yeah.
out today on today's episode.
Get indoctrinated.
To the wonderful world of Disney.
So what would be what when you think of Disneyland, what would be the defining light shining childhood moment for you?
So for me, Disneyland was a very special growing up. The one thing that I always remember about going to Disneyland was always that drive, that really long drive from where I
Anticipation?
lived. That anticipation you're seeing, because we used to go almost every birthday, because all my siblings and my birthdays were all around the same time. And so my parents would be like, well, this is your guys' birthday present. So we already bought the tickets and everything to Disneyland. So it was always like you got used to seeing that drive up to Disneyland. You're passing by all the same billboards and buildings and everything. And so as you got closer, like the anticipation kept growing and growing. And so you would be like, oh, like we're almost there to Disneyland. So it was always, for me, the buildup of getting there.
The build though. It's like it's like Christmas Eve, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Can't sleep. It's all you can think about.
You're in the car and you're just having to be patient and you're just sitting there and like you're just getting closer and closer and the excitement starts to build. And just as a kid, it's the happiest place on earth, right?
Is that what it's
The
called?
happiest place on
I thought that was
earth.
McDonald's.
that might try to be what they try to get you to think. But to have a McDonald's inside Disneyland, which there was at one point in time, but we'll get into that.
Yeah.
But as a kid, as soon as you see the castle
Yeah.
and you walk through the castle, that arch,
Okay.
and you're like standing and you're like looking up and you're seeing all the architecture and everything. But just to like be inside Disneyland and walk down Main Street and you see the castle in the distance.
Yeah.
That was always special for me.
I always love how when you walk in, one thing that kind of stuck with me in my memory banks, my old hard drives up here,
Yeah.
was they always had like the flower arrangement.
Okay.
When you walk in on that
The
hill,
grass hill.
that grass hill,
Yeah.
that flower arrangement, sometimes
Yeah.
different flowers had different like, symbols or whatever, or sayings. And I always remember that damn grass hill.
It's like one of the first things you see. Yeah.
That's why. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's that first impression. It's like,
Mhm.
dude, I don't go to many places that has that. So seeing that beautiful flower arrangement
Yeah.
into that overarching picture as you walked in and you're greeted, that was always cool. You always know, like, oh shit,
Yeah.
it's about to get exciting.
Yeah, and for me as a kid, just going there with my family, and that was the thing that fondly I remember, is just being a family and going together around our birthdays. So it was already kind of special because it was our birthday in
Yeah,
Disneyland, and
yeah.
like this is our party, And so that's what it always
That's cool.
was this is our party. So we get to spend the whole day, and the smells, the characters. Like you walk into Disneyland Main Street and you just get this like whiff of popcorn smell.
I love it.
And they do that purposefully.
Of course.
They do that.
Same reasons
Movie
restaurants,
theaters, restaurants,
smell
they want you
up
to
the whole
buy
parking
something,
lot.
But as a kid, you're just like you're looking around everywhere, and it's almost like you're in awe because you see all these balloons, Disney characters walking by. You're like, that's literally Pluto and Donald Duck just
Yeah.
walking by. And as a kid, you don't know it's people in suits.
Yeah, nah, that
You
doesn't
know?
matter. It's your imagination's off the Richter scale.
Exactly.
But what was the moment? You're saying that the
There's so
drive is the
many.
moment?
Yeah, there's so, and that's what's hard for me to pinpoint
Is
a
it a
moment.
ride?
I would say most likely yes, a ride being on, but as a kid, I was afraid of most rides.
Really?
Yeah, because I always thought they were going to be like roller coasters and stuff like that, and
Yeah, buddy.
I think that stems from going to Six Flags first
Yeah.
before I ever went to Disneyland.
Yeah.
So as a kid going on roller coasters at Disneyland or at Six Flags, hella afraid, like just scared, just seeing these like roller
Yeah,
coasters
they're
going.
amazing.
And I was very afraid as a kid. So,
Yeah.
but then you had like the kiddie rides and stuff like that. I was more of a Pirates of the Caribbean kid.
Pirates of the Caribbean was my favorite ride as a child.
Put me on that boat,
100%.
and it's just chill. You get to relax.
You remember the Dirty Feet?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Which one? What am I talking about?
The dude who like you're literally going and he's sitting over you and he's got the dirty feet.
Dude, when I was a kid, I used to tell my grandparents all the time I'd be excited for the Dirty Feet.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I thought it was the coolest thing.
Just
And
to
you're
sit
going
there.
by and you're looking at this guy and he's got dirty ass
His
feet.
dirty feet just
I don't know what
dangling.
it was, dude, but Pirates of the Caribbean is what captured my imagination as a child. That ride was something else. And that's what's so amazing was that anticipation of going to a theme park
Yeah.
is always going to get you. But then when you go into that theme park, that first impression, you're just like, I'm here.
Yeah.
Your senses, you start sensing that smell, and
It's like an overload.
not only that, is everyone there. We had mentioned like that energy at like a WWF arena.
Yeah.
Everyone's there for what? The same reason. The passion, everything's there. Everyone's there to have a good time and enjoy an art form or sport that they enjoy.
Yeah.
But when you're at a theme park, what is everyone there for? To enjoy themselves and a lot of family, right? There's like a lot of like this family thing
Yeah. A lot
with
of families.
Disney. And everyone's there to enjoy themselves. So you're feeding off of everyone else's energy as you're going into the park, and you're transported
Mm-hmm.
into
Another place in
another place in time. But on top of that, there's more transportation into another dimension when you go into a ride.
It's like like you're in the overarching world of Disney when you're at Disneyland, and then you get specific when you go on each ride. Now you're literally in Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, they took, the feet, man. Dirty feet.
Yeah, but
That's what this episode is going to be called. Disney,
Well-
the dirty feet.
the tragedy of the dirty feet. No, but see, that's the thing is you remember that as a kid, those dirty feet, and that's what it all comes back to for you is going on Pirates of the
So
Caribbean.
weird.
Yeah, that's the one thing that stuck out to you as a kid.
As
On
a
Pirates of the
kid, dude,
Caribbean?
I was obsessed with those dirty feet. Yeah, I don't know why. Obviously, there's a lot of other things, but growing more of a teenager,
Yeah,
Mr. Toad's Wild Ride.
I remember you telling me how much you love that, and I had never gone on.
Didn't you take a picture for me?
Yes,
When
yeah.
you went to Disneyland, I was like,
Yeah.
dude, Mr. Toad's Wild
You were like,
Ride.
you have to go on it. You've never gone on it, so I was like, what the is this Mr. Toad's Wild Ride that I've never went on? I've been to Disneyland multiple times, didn't even know it existed,
That's nutty.
and I finally went on it, and I was just like, this is like an acid trip
It's like
of
a
a ride,
very
dude.
bad, like hallucinogenic trip.
Yes,
It really is.
Uh,
Like you
but
go
it was
into
awesome.
hell
Yeah,
at one point, and
Yeah.
you're spinning around, and there's like, oh,
this train comes and just like smashes
super
you.
nutty.
Yeah, it was really weird.
Interesting. I love Mr. Toad's Wild
And I
Ride.
remember like this is what Josh loved. I was just like, what? I was like, out of every ride here, he told me to go on Mr.
Mr.
Toad's.
Well, you said you had never been on it.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's an experience. You got it.
It
You
was
got to
cool.
go. Like
It was cool
it's
actually.
a weird. That's Disneyland. Like
Yeah.
a lot of Disney's a lot of Disney properties are like acid trips.
Yeah. It's
I
very
mean-
much like that. You got the Alice in Wonderland like ride. You got Winnie the Pooh.
The Dumbo drunk scene.
Yeah, a lot of it is just like kind of out there, a little weird. One of my favorites will always be not Thunder Mountain, but
Splash Mountain.
no, Matterhorn. The Matterhorn.
The Matterhorn.
The Matterhorn. It's like this Swedish, or it's the one that the biggest like mountain that's there when it's at night, it like lights up, and it's like the only mountain that's.
That's Space Mountain.
No, so Space Mountain, you go off into like Tomorrowland and everything,
Okay.
and but the Matterhorn, that's like one of my favorite rides. You're in a bobsled. You're in a bobsled and you go around.
I don't think I've been on that one.
What?
Yeah, that doesn't sound. You know, my entire life, every time I went to, I've only been to Disneyland, well, under 10 times, right?
Okay, yeah.
But every time I had went, definitely, probably only like 5 or 6, maybe.
Okay.
The only time every time I went, up until the last time I went, over
When was
10
the last
years
time you
ago.
went?
It was a while ago. It was for Christmas, which that was the only time I've ever been to Disneyland on Christmas, and that we'll get into that a little
It
later.
was beautiful, right?
Yeah, that was a great
Yeah.
treat. Every time I went to Space Mountain as a kid, or every time I went to Disneyland, Space Mountain was closed.
Yeah.
I never got to
Sucks.
experience it
Yeah.
until that last time. That shit was amazing.
It was dope, huh?
That scene, that part where it like goes black, and it's just you want to talk about like everything is like damn acid trip or mushrooms. It's like this, and everything at Disney's like that. But another thing that I never experienced until that trip as well was Indiana Jones.
Oh, that
Yeah,
one
it's
for
always
me
it's
is
always
awesome.
closed too.
Yeah, you're in the like Humvee and
The
everything's.
smells, dude.
It's great. It's like and it's just crazy.
creepy
Like
ass.
it just sets the scene.
That rubber, that creepy, realistic.
Yeah.
Indie.
Indiana Jones.
Yeah, like
And that's my favorite part is when the ball is like coming towards you, and then you like literally just dug down underneath the ball, and that's like the end of the ride. It's
great.
amazing. It's awesome.
I
That's one of my
lied. I
favorite
lied.
rides.
No. I'm thinking of I get Universal rides mixed up.
Yeah, the Mummy.
No,
Is it-
for me it was the original King Kong ride
Oh, okay.
and the Jaws ride when Jaws popped out of the water.
Yeah, I remember that.
That
yeah.
was great. But when there was that in the original, because I know the King Kong ride's all digital, like water splashes on you now.
Yes.
It's different. But as a kid, you know, everything's bigger.
Yeah.
to you, right? In
yeah,
your
it's-
imagination.
It's grand. It's
When you hear
epic.
the screams, oh, I don't know if you remember that ride, the original King Kong.
I remember E.T. I remember the E.T. ride.
Yeah.
That one was awesome.
But that ride scared the shit out of me, King
Okay.
Kong. When you
Okay.
come around that corner and you see him and he's so big above you,
Yeah.
I was deathly afraid. Why shit got to be so scary as a kid?
And that's the thing is most of these rides, like Indiana Jones, is probably scary to a lot of kids, and you probably got a lot of
There's a
kids. who
giant boulder about to smash you and your family, bro.
everything's on fire. Like you see this big old snake, and that's the thing with Indiana Jones is they have a snake that literally like jumps out at you and tries to eat you while you're in the little
That's
Humvee, and it's just dope. And so you got a lot of rides that are like that. I mean, you got Splash Mountain. Splash Mountain
was amazing.
you literally plummet like 90 feet from the top to just this water that I was personally afraid of going on when I was a kid with Splash Mountain. I did not want to go on it.
Splash Mountain was the we only could get one picture.
Yeah,
We could only get one picture every time we went to Disneyland. It was always Splash Mountain.
that was the cool thing.
I still got some of those. looking like a goof
Yeah.
falling.
But now as an adult, I love going to Splash Mountain. It's one of the things and the whole thing is like just this like fun little ride, and you've got all these like rabbits and characters who are like all happy and everything. And then as soon as you dive and you hit the bottom, everything like it starts to turn creepier and creepier as you're coming up to the biggest drop. And so you see the characters start to like turn evil, and it's like acid trip. It's like everybody's all happy, and then your acid trip goes down.
Yeah,
and it's just like everything's
all
evil.
bad.
Yeah, and so, but yeah, now as an adult, I love going on Splash Mountain. This is one of my favorite rides.
How do you think? Like, okay, going from a child to now, how has Disneyland changed over the years?
I'm not afraid of any rides now.
No, how is
So-
Disneyland?
Oh, how has Disneyland
Yeah.
itself changed?
Because I know you don't lie.
Yeah.
You don't gotta lie for the people. You still afred of them rides.
No,
I'm just
I love
kidding.
going on every ride, dude. I used to hate rides as a kid, like anything that was a big drop or whatever. I used to
So you were there for just
like the kiddie rides, the
character.
experience.
Okay.
Yeah, and so that was more of my thing. But now as an adult, I love going on like every single ride. I don't care how high or deep or if it has turns or whatever.
Yeah.
I'll go on it. But Disneyland itself, how it's changed from when I was a kid to now is a lot more rides. Everything is like the production quality of some of these rides are a lot different. Like you have more Star Wars stuff. Back in the day, there was like nothing Star Wars that was
do you remember
there.
from what I remember, the first Star Wars ride was the one where there's a big screen in front of you, you sit in the seats, and the seats move.
Yes.
And there was that droid.
It was like the animatronic kind of thing.
Yeah, and like that droid was like taking you on like this little, like we were in like a little cruiser or something.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah. They still have something like that now. It's called Space Tours or Star Tours.
Star Tours.
Star Tours. So now it's like so much more like elegant. Now you have like actual C-3PO, and it's the actual voice of the actor who does C-3PO, and you've got R2-D2 and BB-8, and so every time there's a new movie, like the scene or the worlds change, so they like adjust it to each movie, and it's a lot more grand now, a lot more because Disneyland has changed over the years. Their production quality has been getting better and better. I remember as a kid, Pirates was way different than it is now. Yeah, they had a lot more before the movies. And so it was a little more like the book before the movies.
Correct.
And then now, since the movies took off and everything,
you see those characters in the ride, right?
Exactly. So now Jack is in the ride. He's sitting there and he's on the thing, and it's like yo ho yo, and you've got Barbossa on his ship, and he's shooting cannons. That was never there before.
The cannons part is I always love that.
Yeah.
When you go out into that little area, and it looks like an open sea, but you're just in a little studio.
Yeah.
That shit is amazing.
But it's so well done that you feel like you're in the middle of this battle, and
I just love when the water
splashing.
The water splashes.
Yeah,
because you get that realistic, that sensory overload. Because obviously water's hitting you in the face.
Yeah,
it's great.
And then I think they either added like a drop or two in there, so now like you're not just on a level the whole time. Like it actually dips, and then you go to
movement.
Yeah, and so certain rides have changed over the years.
You know what would be nutty is if they had like mermaids come up to your boat.
That would be cool.
Oh my God, I would be on that ride over and over. I'd be like, take me.
You just see like a mermaid swim up out of the water. It could be animatronic, and it could
I need real.
Oh well, I mean,
and you know Disney got their hand on real mermaids. They could put real mermaids in that pool.
They could definitely put some characters who are dressed like mermaids in that pool. Well, the thing about Pirates of the Caribbean is every now and then Johnny Depp will actually come out and be on the ride or at the ride.
No way.
He'll come out fully dressed up as Jack Sparrow, and he'll come out and talk to the people. I think I was there like 2 or 3 days before he actually came out.
Really?
Like I was there over the weekend, and then
That's
that
tight.
Monday.
That's tight.
Someone had posted a video that he actually came out on the ride, and I was like,
Imagine.
I was literally just there.
Imagine that.
Yeah, it would have been epic. It would have been really cool. But so you've got these changes in Disneyland. Like now they have a Star Wars area.
How do you like that?
I've never seen it. I've never gone. It's
How?
something. It's.
Where have you been the last couple of years?
So I probably haven't been to Disneyland itself in probably about a year and a half, maybe. I think the last time I legit went to Disneyland was when I got married.
Okay.
It was the day I got married.
Oh, you guys went to Disneyland?
Yeah, so we got married, and then we went to Disneyland after.
That's what's up.
That was an experience in itself. So Disneyland has traveled with me from a kid to my wedding day.
Nice.
Dude. And so it was just, for me, it just felt natural, like it was something that I had to do.
It made sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was one of the best things is just being like that kid, but now I'm a married adult.
Yeah.
But then still being at Disneyland and enjoying everything with my now wife and still being a kid. And that's what I go every time I go to Disneyland. I try to capture just a little bit of that nostalgia, a little bit of that magic, and just be a kid for a day.
Yeah. What's wrong with that?
Nothing. I wouldn't say anything's wrong with that. That's what I live for.
Yeah.
You know, you have your job, you have all these things, all these outside stressors, but when you're in Disneyland, you're just in this other world, and you get lost.
You had mentioned earlier is especially with everything going on right now and Disneyland. As far as I know, they're not open
No,
yet.
not at the moment.
They probably will be. I'm hoping by the time this episode comes out.
They talked about Disney World opening up soon.
Oh, okay.
So,
well, that's in Florida, right?
Yes.
Okay, I never
Yeah.
been to Disney World.
Me neither.
Always wanted to.
Yeah. That's my next adventure.
But what Disneyland does for a lot of people is you had used the word earlier, escape.
Yes.
And I was just like, you know what? Damn. Okay. Yeah. It makes a lot of sense. It's an escape for a lot of people to reclaim that that moment of childhood. One of the reasons I'll put another movie on a pedestal real quick is Hook. Robin Williams. Like when you want to talk about like you had just kind of said all those things, but as an adult you have stress this way. You have all this. You have your job. You have all these things that you got to work on and be coherent and be and, show up every day and deal with
responsibility
every day at every angle, right? You married, you have all these things going on, and sometimes we need to put that on pause and get back to the basics.
Sweep it to the side.
Yeah,
there you go.
Get back to the basics and go back to our childhood and remember those things about that captured our imagination. I think that's what a lot of adults lose. A lot of us
their
lose
imagination.
That. Is they lose their imagination. And you know what fills that role? Disney.
Yeah.
At every angle, because now they're all over your entertainment player. Yeah, but now adults, they instead of going and hanging out with actual characters dressed up and stuff like that, they could watch Disney. And a lot of people get that nostalgia watching old Disney movies because they watched them as a kid. Yeah. So when you watch Lion King and stuff like that,
Pinocchio.
like it takes you back, right?
Yeah.
But there's something different. There's a line in the sand between watching Disney and actually being in Disneyland.
Being there.
That's
being able
nutty,
to see it in person, physicality, like I mentioned earlier, being able to smell the smells, and you're literally watching characters walk by you, and so now it's this other level, and that's what I was mentioning earlier is when you go on each ride, you're instantly transported to each new world. One of my favorite ones is Thunder Mountain, where it's the train, and you're going on the train and the tracks, and you're in the wildest wilderness, and like you're just in another world.
Yeah.
And the escape is what is my favorite, because like you said, it's all great to be an adult and experience all these things, and you have all these responsibilities, but to just be a kid for the day and capture that spirit of the Lost Boys and Peter Pan and just enjoy yourself and have that imagination, imagination of a child.
I'll tell you what, we're losing things every year. We lost Blockbuster. We've lost Toys R Us.
Yeah.
We've lost certain toy stores, EB Toys. I mean, at least in this side of the world and stuff like that. So there's a lot of things that we grew up with that aren't there anymore, right?
Of course.
I mean, we grew up with Funko Land. Now it's GameStop, and GameStop probably ain't gonna be around for another couple years.
Yeah.
If so, they're gonna be very selective. So we have all these things that we could go. You walk into a Blockbuster, you're transported through time, right? Back into the days we grew up. But we still have Disneyland.
Yeah.
And like I say, there's a lot of things that are just falling off. Obviously, I don't see Disney ever falling off.
No, it's the one constant.
The only way Disney will fall off if it eats itself, right? Over time.
If they change so much that
they're not
likes that change anymore.
Yeah.
It's not what it originally. And so that's the one thing about Disney is you got to remember where you came from. The thing that started it all. And that's why you have that statue of Walt Disney and Mickey holding its hand, and that's the one staple point. It's in the middle of all of Disneyland.
Yeah.
It's at the middle. So at the center of Disneyland is where it all came from. It all started with Walt Disney and his drawing his inspiration, Mickey Mouse. And so if you lose sight of that, I believe that's the only way that Disney could ever eat itself, if it changes so much that it forgets where it came from. Because you do need to go back to the basics. You do need to have that pillar of what you stand on and then grow from there. And I believe Disney is doing that. They've done it over the course of the years. They just keep adding and adding and adding. But at what point does it become not about the people anymore, and not about the magic of Disney? And so for me, it's always about the magic. And if they lose that,
I think I truly
know.
I truly feel that that probably will happen over the course of time. Obviously, Disney is obtaining new rights, right? So
That's
now
true.
now
Yeah.
Marvel is Disney.
Fox is Disney.
You know, and you have in the next couple years, X-Men will be
Yeah.
Disney, and that's nutty to me, right?
Mhm.
But Star Wars is Kylo Ren is a face of Disney. To
Disney.
me, that don't make no sense to me. Okay, Luke Skywalker is. I know it now. It's been years that this transition has happened, but still, when I think of Star Wars, I think of, or when I think of like Luke Skywalker or any Obi-Wan, any Star Wars character, I don't think of Disney.
No, you don't correlate the
I think
two.
of George Lucas. I think of
Yeah.
filmmaking. I think of, space. I think of Star Wars.
Yeah.
But see, when I think of Disney, I think of Goofy.
hmm
I think of Donald Duck.
The
always my
cartoon
favorite.
characters.
My
The
favorite.
cartoon characters.
But why do they got to be just cartoon characters? Why can't those characters? Okay, my question, what I'm building up to. Who's your favorite of the originals? Mine's Donald Duck. Always has been.
Okay.
Always. Yeah, I love Donald. I love him. Are those characters going to grow with Disney? Or do you think those characters, like you said, it's going to be a foundation,
Mhm.
but do you think that they'll be so smashed by other large things like Star Wars and
Yeah.
Marvel over the years? Because now you're going to have people growing up right now
Mhm.
that are 7, 8, 9, younger. When they think of Disney, they're going to think of Rey.
Yeah.
They're going to think of
Kylo
Rise of
and-
Skywalker. They're going
Yeah.
to think of Iron Man.
I think the only way to remember where you came from is to include those characters. To say, okay, yeah, we have new Disney princesses, we have Moana, we have, Frozen and everything. But what about where we started? What about the next adventure of Goofy, Winnie the Pooh, Eeyore and Donald Duck? What are we doing to ensure that they're still relevant and around? What's the next Mickey Mouse adventure and Minnie Mouse? So if they include those along with, Spider-Man and X-Men and everything, and you keep creating new adventures for these same classic characters, then they'll always be around. They'll always be relevant. They'll always be a part of your heart. So you have to include the originals along with everything new.
Obviously the Disney Channel and stuff, there's a lot of those characters still in their own cartoons, right? For the newer, younger kids. With that animation is trash. But
Take it old school, man, with the animation.
why don't they draw?
Exactly, that's the thing. A lot of people don't draw anymore, and the ones
Well,
that
they digitally
do,
draw it, but
Yes.
but yeah.
but the ones that do, it stands out from the rest. You got to have some type of practicality and old schoolness mixed in with the new school. That's the best of both worlds.
I mean, the drawing now. I mean, with comics,
Mm.
new age cartoons.
Yeah.
Everything has that digital look to it, and I think it's the same with film.
Yeah.
When I watch a brand new blockbuster movie, and it's shot in these higher frames, and everything is HD.
You can
Okay,
tell. You can tell.
Well, yeah, you can tell, but it's like, okay, cool. There's all this CG in it. But when I go back and watch an 80s movie, like we've talked about, and like the practicality and the way it's shot on film and the way it stands out because it looks more of an antique.
Mm-hmm.
And we all know antiques are better than anything they make currently, right? Like modern shit's trash. Anything from the past, for some reason, is always better.
Yeah, it just hits in a different way, man.
It hits in a different way. Yeah.
And so, I think they definitely need to recognize, where we started, where we came from, and you need more people who are interested in maintaining that magic, that everyday magic, and put it into the production of Disneyland. And I think there are a lot of people there at Disneyland who are there because they want to create that magic or capture that magic from when they were kids, from the cast of characters to the people in charge and everything. Is Disneyland is still around. It's not going anywhere. of course, at this point in time, right now, it's shut down. But when it comes back, it's going to come back with a boom, and I can't wait to see what else they changed. What else is new? You have Star Wars. I can't wait to go to Star Wars Land and experience that
Dude,
for the first
I
time.
would love to do that.
We need to go.
Dude.
That would be cool to sit there in the cantina and drink a little something.
Dude, I honestly want to do that. I think this year though is going to be pretty nutty.
Exactly.
Like
it might be a while.
If Disneyland opens back up, good luck.
Yeah.
That place is going to get flooded.
Just to get in there, yeah, it's going to
get
crazy.
Flooded.
Yeah.
But I would love to go do the Star Wars thing.
It would be cool, man.
I'm down.
It would be an experience.
What's up with the Disney's club? Their 33 club. What's
you
up
mentioned
with
that earlier, and I was
that?
like, at first I was like, wait, what? And then I remembered that there is this special club, the Club 33.
Club 33.
Yeah, and that's what it's called. It's this special club inside Disneyland for a select group of people, and it's like thousands and thousands of dollars that you have to pay to be included in that club. But it's a specific room, if I remember right, on New Orleans Square, the original, because I guess there's one in like each park.
Well, yeah,
now.
Throughout the park, and I remember this as a kid. You'll see little areas, little things
33.
say 33
Yeah,
throughout the park.
That's crazy.
Okay, yeah, and I know that there's a lot of theories. There's a lot of things going on about that.
Okay.
And it's so funny how you
what have you heard about it?
I've heard all kinds.
Oh,
I mean,
God.
Disney and theories, kind of go hand in
There's
hand.
a lot of stuff.
There's a lot of speculation, right?
A lot of things
A lot of
that
shit
they don't
shoved
tell
in
you.
your face.
Yeah.
But
That you don't even know about unless you.
you sounded exactly like
attention.
a Disney commercial. Like when the way you explained the 33 Club. And okay, so you're telling me that I could go and purchase a membership of that
From what I know, yes.
and rub shoulders with Tom Hanks?
Oh, it's gonna be thousands of dollars, dude. Like
But is that purchasable? Can you go on Disney's website right now and get a membership for that? I don't think so.
I want to say you got to know somebody.
See, okay.
You got to know somebody.
Exclusivity.
You've got to actually know about the club, because there's certain things.
So now it's getting more cultic and more cultic.
Exactly. There's
more you
certain
talk
things,
about it.
unless you know about it and you bring it up to like a Disney cast or whatever, or somebody who knows what you're talking about, because not the average everyday person doesn't know what Club 33 is. So unless you actually know, it's like the secret menu at Jamba Juice or something. Unless you specifically know what you're looking for, they're just going to be like,
with the age of the internet,
I don't
that's
know what you
spread,
are.
right?
Yes. You can literally go on the internet and look up what Club 33 is, and it'll tell you everything about it.
But can you go on the Disney website?
I don't believe so.
Do they acknowledge it?
I
Has Disney
personally
ever
don't think so.
acknowledged it?
I want to say I've seen it on an actual behind-the-scenes like documentary for Disney.
Like hinted?
Yes. I want to say they did talk about it, because I remember seeing something when Disney Plus was coming out, and they were talking about something like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I just wanted to bring it up. It's interesting. I know we can dive deep into it.
That's a
another
whole
day.
rabbit hole,
Yeah,
dude.
that's
like,
a
just-
rabbit hole.
Yeah. Alice in Wonderland.
I wish. Did you know that the cast members cannot do one finger gestures in the park?
So they can't be like,
They can't point.
yes. Yes.
No, they can't. They can't pull a Daniel Bryan.
What?
Because certain gestures with fingers are offensive in different cultures.
Interesting. I
So
didn't
all
know
the
that.
cast members, if they point, they have to point with two.
Interesting.
They have to point with two, and they have to do these things.
Jazz hands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was interesting. And
is
I know
weird.
there's a lot of small details about Disneyland because they're super crazy with like keeping the park clean.
Yeah.
So
I mentioned to you earlier one of those details. From what I've also read or heard, they release cats at night after the whole park shuts down. And I don't know if they do this in California Adventures, but I'm pretty sure they release cats to go chase like all the mice and the rats or whatever to keep them out of the park.
that's crazy.
Imagine having that job, like you said.
So how do you? This sounds like a rabbit hole
Like go catch all those cats.
Okay, so we have a lot of food in our park.
Obviously, you're gonna have insects, rats.
Okay, so you have
whatever.
rats, right?
Yeah.
Say people drop their food all the time, stuff like that. People are dirty.
Mhm.
So you have a little bit of a rat infestation. Okay, let's fix that with cats. So we're gonna release cats. Here's my question. This is what I want. I want to ask somebody from Disney. So you release cats, okay? Then you got a whole crew of people showing up at a specific time. They're the cat catchers at Disney, right? Is that a job? You catch cats at Disney? Okay, here's the thing. But are these cats not spraying on everything? Now you got a park that smells like cat piss. Where's that production line? Where's that?
Yeah.
How do you go one by one?
And
Where do
catch
you
all
hold
those
these
cats.
cats?
Yeah.
Is it cat friendly? Is it animal friendly?
I don't know, man.
Do they got little collars around these cats? Are they electroshocking them?
I'm pretty sure they love the cats.
Do
you
they
know
have
what I
little
mean?
mind control chips in their
I'm
heads?
pretty sure. Hey, nowadays you don't know.
Well, I'm asking because it's Disney.
It could be. Yeah. That's a whole other side of Disney. That on the surface.
What if they took
it's
their
all fun
Disney
and games.
employees and turned them into cats?
We've officially gone down the rabbit hole to Alice in Wonderland, and
we need to go free those cats, dude.
Well, there's a whole underlevel of Disneyland where they have like this jail cell. And
Oh, I'm sure there's many levels under Disneyland.
Yeah, and they put everyone who is there who can't act right in the park, Josh. And they
I'm trying to
stick 'em in
save cats, dude.
They stick them in Disney jail.
So there's a jail cell underneath Disney.
From what I've heard, is I mean, we could go test the theory. We could get buck wild at Disneyland,
I think when we go, right? When we go,
but you're gonna sacrifice your whole day there.
when we go to Disneyland, we can go to Star Wars, right?
Oh,
And we're gonna be the rebels. We're gonna free our people. We're gonna free our cat people.
just make sure you shoot first.
Always. It's interesting. You ever been at
Free
Disney?
some cats.
You ever been at Disneyland? You heard him say something like code V.
No, I've never heard that. You mentioned
Code
something
5,
about that. I
code
was like,
V?
what do you mean? Is that like code for
next time
Empire
you're at
Strikes
Disneyland.
Back?
Next time you're at Disneyland, and you hear it,
Yeah,
it means somebody threw up.
that's what code V is.
Yeah.
It's literally just throw up. They
Just
can't
throw up.
say over the walkie like, "Yo, someone threw up."
Nah.
Release the cats. Go eat that.
Really?
Like that's what would literally happen.
Imagine being at Disneyland and you see like a wave of fucking 300-400 cats just coming down the road.
Just taking out kids. Just
That's nuts. They're angry, bro.
yeah, man.
Before we wrap up on Disneyland, I know there's a lot to talk about, like always, but dude,
So you said your favorite. What was your favorite ride? It was Space Mountain.
my favorite ride, I'd have to say, Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It's
yeah.
obscure. It really doesn't fall into the line of best rides
No,
at
yeah.
Disneyland.
But to you, your favorite. That's
it's interesting, yeah.
yeah.
I've had a lot of bad acid trips, so I sit right at home with that.
So you got special memories, yeah. And yeah, so it's hard for me to choose a favorite. You know, you got so many great rides: Matterhorn, Thunder Mountain. But the Pirates of the Caribbean, dude, that's the one ride I go to even now as an adult, and I can just relax and enjoy it. Because Disneyland is very like high pace. You want to go after ride after ride. But when I get to Pirates of the Caribbean, I just kind of like, I just get in the zone and then just enjoy the atmosphere, the world.
I always like to leave the discussion on a very good note. Disneyland at Christmas time.
Beautiful.
You want to talk about nostalgia? You want to talk about memories?
Yeah.
That shit is great.
That's a present in its own, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, the tree's all lit up. They got this big tree, the biggest Christmas tree.
I know we're both huge Nightmare Before Christmas fans, and so if you're a fan of Nightmare Before Christmas and you've never experienced Christmas Land,
It's beautiful.
Christmas
Land, but yeah, but
Disneyland at Christmas time with some Jack Skellington, highly recommend
epic.
it.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Highly.
It's awesome.
And honestly, dude, you know what's crazy too is walking into Disneyland like you ain't gonna spend no money.
Oh, you're gonna spend thousands.
Do not walk into
Yeah.
that gift shop. Do not.
I avoided at all costs.
Do not.
As a
I
kid, though,
repeat.
that was the place that I wanted to just run around to every toy shop and everything, and
Yeah.
just get all the Disney memorabilia,
Everything.
everything. Yeah. But
I bought a I had bought a Jack Skellington mug, and I still have that. I love that mug. And then it's like a baseball jersey, but it's a
Yeah.
you remember that?
Yeah.
I showed you. Yeah, it's like it's
Yeah.
all back. Nightmare Before Christmas. It's got 0 on it and
That's
everything.
sick.
Yeah, Jack
Yeah.
Skellington. Dude, we should review that movie.
we're going to.
Yeah.
It just came to me while we were talking about it right
Only
here.
got a couple months towards for Halloween. Dude, October we're gonna be talking about a lot of stuff. That's gonna be fun.
Yeah, that's one of my other favorites is Christmas and Halloween. So that movie has both. And
Yeah.
Disneyland at Halloween is one of my favorites as well. If you've never been there at Halloween,
I've never been to Halloween.
check it out, dude. It's sick.
Yeah.
It's awesome. We might have to go during Halloween or something.
Okay. I'm down.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts?
Can't wait for Disneyland to open back up.
Yeah.
And I can't wait for me and my buddy to go there for the first time. Josh,
We gonna get some lightsabers, right?
I'm gonna bring my lightsaber.
No, we gonna get.
We're gonna build some lightsabers.
We gonna spend all kind of money.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be an epic time. But
And if I see a Twi'lek, I'm sorry, I'm gonna put this out there on the internet right now. If I see a Twi'lek in real life, your boy gonna catch some. I don't know, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, if I see a Twi'lek in real life,
Disney,
we about to get married. So
Disney take out all the Twi'leks. Josh is coming.
yeah, I'm gonna free the cats, and I'm gonna marry a Twi'lek next time I go to Disneyland.
And that's our episode on Disneyland. Hey man, that was a lot of fun to talk about Disney with you today. Everything that I love about Disney and Disneyland was in that episode. I was just so happy to talk about all that with you, man.
Hey, dude, I'm telling you, like I said, dude, I'm gonna save them cats. It's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? And yo, we need to make that a hashtag or something. People need to investigate.
Hashtag Disney Cats.
Are they microchipping cats? Are they cloning cats? What is happening inside Club 33? Those are the questions I have.
to be seen next time?
No, dude, Disney's always been a special place in my heart, whether it's from the big box VHSs growing up or actually going to Disneyland.
Yeah.
The all greatness, being indoctrinated with magic. It's a great time.
Definitely.
Disneyland is definitely something that maybe not everybody likes, but I think as an escapism, a lot of us need.
Definitely. I can't wait to go back and, like we talked about in the episode, hopefully get to visit Disneyland with my buddy Josh and just share the magic with everybody. So until next time, catch us on every social media platform.
Every one of them, dude.
Yeah.
Every one of them.
All of them.
And until next Saturday, friends, stay nostalgic on that eternal quest to get back
Back to the basics.
You got it.